Today, I want to look at the book of Joel. And when I was looking at the book of Joel for my book, Deep and Wide, I focused to start off with the locust metaphor. And when we're looking at the book of Joel, probably written by Joel about 700 BCE, it really was not really a sermon, but maybe a sermon or a prophecy to the people, because they were going out and doing what they wanted, taking land, treating other groups of people not right. And they kind of said, God gave us this land and they took it. So for their bad behavior, they were blaming God. And I think a lot of times when we look at a lot of the stories in the Old Testament, the things that are recorded, I don't really believe are really truly of God, but they're a recording of what the people claimed of God. I still have a problem with the Israelites coming in to the land of Jericho and slaughtering the people and saying God told them to do that. That just doesn't work. The God that I know would not tell a group of people to go in and wipe them out and claim that land for themselves. And it's not just the Israelites who did that. The colonists did that and wiped out the Native Americans in the part of the country that I live. They did that with the Native Mexican people and pushed them away and took the land of Texas and declared their independence. So we have this long history of just going in like locusts and devouring everything. But Joel warns the people that one day they will be held accountable for their bad actions. And these things that they did, blaming it on God, are not going to hold up. And so that's one of the messages you get in the little book of Joel, is about it's like a calling or a reminding of the calling to account for whole nations. And based on what's going on in the United States at this current moment, we have to know and understand that there will be an accounting and there will be a day of reckoning when the things that the United States of America is doing at this moment will have consequences. And it doesn't matter if a portion of the population supported it and a portion of the population did not, and the largest portion of the population just refused to get involved in the voting. There will be an accounting. And I do believe the people that did not vote are going to have to be held accountable for their actions as well, because they played the biggest part in this travesty that has led to what seems abundantly clear to me will be the destruction of the United States of America. And we're about running out of time to fix that and avert that. But you know, the book of Joel tells us that whole nations will be held accountable. And within the nation, there will be people who are not guilty for the crimes that the nation has committed, but they're going to be held accountable. And then Joel kind of shifts gears a little bit and talks about fresh waters and fresh start in new beginnings. And I do believe in grace, and I do believe in fresh starts. So when I look at the messages of Joel, I see where Joel is said is warning the nation. Now he's talking about a nation not quite 3,000 years ago, but a warning to them that they're going to be held accountable. But he still gives a little message of hope in that there are fresh starts. There are fresh starts. And then Joel also then goes and then gives a message about the importance of loving and accepting all people. So also within this little book of Joel, we have a message of inclusion and God's inclusive love. And almost like a foreshadowing of John 3:16. Whosoever. No one is excluded. Whosoever. So although the book of Joel is a very small book, and this podcast in the book of Joel is a very short podcast, there are at least three very important things for us to know and understand from the Old Testament book of Joel. One, Joel's prophecy that nations who mistreat groups of people will have consequences for their behaviors. And in contemporary times right now, we can take that as a warning on us. If you are part of the United States of America, either an active guilty person or guilty by association or guilty by being a non-active bystander. We also have a message of hope, a hope that is founded in grace, in that there are fresh starts. There's a fresh rain that will come and cleanse us. And that could happen. I'm hoping for a fresh rain to come and wash away some of this filth that has taken over our political systems. And I'm hoping for a fresh rain in 2026 and a flood of fresh rain in 2028. And I'm hoping for little rain showers along the way of people that are going to facilitate this holding to account. And so I'm hoping that these fresh rains will not come too late before the consequences for the actions of our country are cemented past the point of return. And while the warning about mistreating whole groups of people, Joel does remind us that we are called and expected to love all of our neighbors and all of our communities and the communities that are adjacent to us, and really the communities all across our world. Because in the world we live in now, with communication and transportation, the whole world truly is our neighbor. You can get to almost any place in the world in less than 24 hours. That makes them your neighbor. So, this little book of Joel, these are the thoughts I'd like to share with you. If you have liked this podcast, even though it's very, very short, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.